All right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin and the crypto markets. Welcome in, everybody. We got some pretty explosive price action happening right now. Welcome in, Quiles, Jawfuel, Time Attack, Sam, Brent, Ludong, Chicken Salt. Welcome in, Jonathan Morris, Chad P, and Sudeep. Thank you, Time Attack and Sudeep, for modding. I appreciate you guys so much. And our Pink, welcome in as well. Okay, guys. Well, Bitcoin is pumping hard, continuing to pump through local resistances like they are nothing. And we are really impulsing up here. Actually, seeing a bit of a short squeeze happen over the last couple of days here. A pretty big short squeeze that I did warn about in Monday's video. I talked about how we were seeing higher lows in the price action, lower lows in the CVD, and our open interest was steadily increasing as we were coming up to that golden pocket. We got the small rejection from the golden pocket, back tested our macro value area high, which had shifted up. Let me actually go ahead and show that here. And since back testing that macro value area high after reclaiming, we pumped hard. And if we also pull that golden pocket, you can see we had that small rejection from the golden pocket on Monday's video. If you go about 9 minutes into the video, I talked about this coming up to that 0.65 rejecting, coming back down to back testing that value area high in those double VWAPs. And if it did hold, there was the potential not only to break above the 115.8K resistance, but to potentially come all the way up to the value area high, which now we have done. And we saw that start with a short squeeze. That was that short squeeze that started it. Now, of course, we did have some late longers stepping in, got a little bit of a pullback from that. And since then, you can see we have had pretty healthy long positions stepping in, new long positions stepping in to push this price up. And just now, we are starting to see more liquidations come in here, starting to see that open interest drop again. Late longers, you can see right in here, late longers just today, longing up near resistance here, probably longing the breakout of the value area high. But as we're coming up into that 786, you can see those late longers getting stopped out. Now, also some late shorters getting stopped out. Just pretty much a big mess right now. But yes, Bitcoin is coming up to that key 786 fib level, actually breaking this now. And in yesterday's video, I actually talked about the 886 and how the 886 is where I'm really watching for a potential rejection. 786 is definitely an area we could be interested in a wick past this. If we start to close the daily candle back underneath the value area high, then for me, that will be a pretty big signal that we could get a bigger dump to the downside. Just a retracement dump before continuing to make new all-time highs here. But I will say this, the 886 has in these ranges historically, if we look at 2024's range, the 886 here has given us pretty harsh rejections in the past. And I do believe we have a daily level that is up near that 886 as well. Yeah, 886 daily level up in this general area. And so I'm going to be watching this general area here if we can break above the 786, of course, which is what we're trying to do as we speak here. Let's put that 786 back on. Yeah, 786 is coming up here. But altcoins are pumping. And also, if we look at the Bitcoin dominance here, Bitcoin dominance is seeing that drop again, attempting to break above the golden pocket. And if we fail again and start to drop here, I do think we will finally come down to that 786 that we front ran. And this could mean a bit of a rally for the altcoins against Bitcoin, forming a bigger bottoming range in here. And then maybe we can see Bitcoin kind of take off again or a bigger sell off on altcoins where Bitcoin holds up better than the altcoins. So yeah, we're pumping hard. Now, as far as liquidity goes, we do not have much liquidity above us, except if we zoom out to like the 3-month time frame. We did have that liquidity that was resting about 122K, 122 to 122.8. We did take that now, and there was a better look at that. Let me look here. Yeah, I mean, you can see that local liquidity that was resting above us, but if we also look at the 1-month chart here, there was some liquidity that was resting up there that we have now taken. 3-month chart. And majority of the liquidity now, guys, is going to be below us. It's going to be down into that. There's 2 levels of liquidity to be looking at. About 108K and the 107K, really coming down to 105K. So That's what I want to talk about now that the majority of the liquidity is below us. If we do see a rejection from the 786 or from the 886, we could be coming down and taking a lot of that liquidity, continuing to form a range here, a bigger corrective range that lasts months long. But you can see here very clearly all the liquidity is below us. It's really below those 107K lows. Very, very strong level down there. We are very far away from it. And that does not mean that this pump on Bitcoin has to go back down there. We can continue pushing up. We can continue to take new all-time highs, and really we can continue to rocket on this thing. We do know that when crypto decides to pump, when sentiment changes on crypto, it explodes. It goes up rapidly and far. Okay, let me go on to that macro Fibonacci Fibonacci channel. And you can see we've also reclaimed that 618 channel and we're pushing up here. Now, if we are going to make new all-time highs, I'm really going to be paying attention to this 135K area. That would be the top of the primary ascending fib channel that we would actually really need to be watching for a potential new all-time high and a rejection to start the bear market. There's a couple macro levels that I'm going to be watching. Of course, this pitchfork here, coming up to, it depends on time, 130 as well, that area 130. But the top of the pitchfork is going to be about, top of the pitchfork band, excuse me, is going to be that really important 135K level. So as far as macro price action goes, keep that 135K number in mind because we have multiple confluences of very high time frame resistance up there. Price discovery resistance. All right, let's go back to Bitcoin here. Let's look at this. So yeah, guys, we are breaking out, and I do have to say this. This still looks healthy. Look at the money flow here. Green dot on the 4-hour. Money flow on NAMI. Still looking good here. We are not really seeing the bearish signs that we want to see for rejection at these local areas. If we zoom in onto the 2-hour chart, on the 2-hour chart, money flow still looks very healthy. Yes, we do have the bear divs, but a single drive of bear divs is, or money flow is always going to overpower a single drive of bear divs. We are starting to develop not only regional bear divs, but local bear divs on NAMI. But we did print the hidden bull div signal after rejecting from that 113.3 level, 113.3 to 113.6. Hidden bull div printed, which means continuation, and we're seeing continuation today. We are starting to develop bear divs on the money flow as well. And this is why I'm a little bit concerned about breaking immediately to a new all-time high, straight up to a new all-time high. I am going to be watching that 886 level. Let's zoom out to the daily chart, and I want to talk about that because if we look at our 2024 range that happened for 8 months, if we come back and look at this prior range, this was 2024, about 8 months in 2024. And one of the things that I will show you here, let me hide this, is the 886 rejections that we got within this range. And you saw very explosive moves up here. But if you take a Fibonacci from the highs to the lows, your big swing lows, and we turn on that 886, let me change that color for you guys so you can see that better. Where did we reject at the 886 fib level? And after rejecting there, usually when you hit the 886, you will see eventually coming to take those highs. But we rejected the 886. We came down. We made new lows, actually. And then if we look at the Fibonacci from the new high to the new low and look at the 886, what happened? Reject from the 886, new lows on the chart. So be aware that these especially in larger ranges that form, these 886 do tend to give us a pretty harsh rejection. Let's see, where was this at? Let's bring this here. That was about 3 months into the range, 100 days into the range that we saw our first 886 rejection, or you could even say 90 days into the range or so that we saw that first 886 rejection. Yeah, 82, 90 days. So if we look at this range that we're in right now, let me just hide this volume profile, and let's look at this range. Right now, we are 79 days into this range, or you could even pull it back a little bit further, about that same amount of time frame where you can see 83 days if we start from this little wick here, about the same amount of time frame as the last one when you're coming up into that 886. So I'm not saying it's the highest probability that we're going to reject and make new lows from this area, but I would say watch for those 886 rejections. They are very powerful, especially in ranges. All right. Um, but yeah, guys, everything looks bullish right now. I do have to say, when we were dumping down here and everything looked bearish, we were not seeing the bullish divs that we were looking at, and then they confirmed afterwards, or I think maybe it was this area here. So even though we're not seeing divs, we are coming up. Remember, price action first, indicator second. So as we're coming up to those key levels, just be aware to take some profits if you're long, and to not enter new longs after such an aggressive pump here. It's just bad risk management. Sure, it could keep pumping. Sure, you might get lucky, but the overall best practice to have is to not open up new longs, new FOMO longs if this thing just keeps pumping here. You have to have good risk management. At least wait for a proper small low time frame pullback, develop some support, and then you can long the support and look for the highs to be taken. But yeah, this thing's rocketing, and everything looks pretty good here. If we go on to the 1 hour chart, 1 hour money flow still nicely curving to the upside here. We are seeing the bear divs regionally here potentially develop as we've been pumping the last 2 or 3 days really aggressively since Sunday. So this whole entire week, we're developing bear divs on the 1 hour, bear divs on the 2 hour, no 4 hour bear divs yet, quite yet. Grab this. Okay, get rid of that. And then let's go on to the 15-minute chart. 15-minute chart. Today, we are starting to develop some bear divs. Higher highs here, lower highs here. And your money flow is draining out of the asset as this bear div is forming. So because we are above the 786, I am not shorting until we lose that 786. Say we lose it and backtest it, that might be a local scalp short opportunity for me. But unless we lose that 786, the next level I'm going to be looking at is the 886 in the daily level. Level to level, guys. As traders, we wait for the reaction at the level. You can see there was really no reaction at that 786. We front ran it very, very slightly in this candle and then pumped straight through it. So because we've pumped straight through it, no short to be taken. We have to be patient, sit on our hands and wait. If we do get that wick past and then fall back below it, we can look for a potential short on the back test here. Other than that, we let the pump continue. We let some sort of range form, some sort of exhaustion form in here where we get a bit of a bigger range or that like ascending channel exhaustive structure, and then we can look at shorting on either the break of that structure or on the tap of the top of the channel. But we need some sort of exhaustion to form here. If we do zoom out to the 2 hour chart and we look at the volume, let's go ahead and look at our volume levels. I will say this. We do have volume decreasing now on the new highs that were made today, except for right now. Volume is pushing up pretty good right now. But before prior, you can see even though our volume is higher on this lower push up here. So as we keep making new highs, we get a pullback, we make new highs. If we get a pullback, we make new highs again. If the volume keeps decreasing and decreasing as we keep making those new highs, that is a sign that you could be towards the end of your impulse here. And that is when you can start looking. But as long as volume keeps increasing on these pumps, we are not looking for short positions. We are waiting for that volume to decrease on new highs before really accepting to take a short position. Okay, let me check the chat here. Thank you, Quiles, for the super chats. Absolutely, I will do ARB and Chainlink. We can check some of the altcoins here, guys. There's a lot to look at today. A lot of the altcoins have some opportunity to really rally. If we do get this big drop on Bitcoin dominance, and I'm going to cover the total chart in just a second here, but if we do get a big drop in Bitcoin dominance and this kind of ascending structure here starts to break down, then I do think we are going to see that big altcoin rally that we're kind of expecting. And we do know that uh, Q4 of the 4-year cycle does tend to be where those altcoins kind of really start to pop off and explode. So yeah, I would say let's keep an eye on this. And really it's going to be losing that 58%, 59% level again is where we're going to want to see a drop of this level. back test, and then that's when we could see our big rally on the altcoins. Okay, now let's go to the total market cap chart real quick. I covered this last week, but we've seen some new developments happen since then. So let's go on to the daily time frame, and we've been in this range here on the daily time frame really since the middle of July. So for a few months now, we've been in this range, and we held the value area low of the range. Didn't quite come down to the pitchfork midline, which I was actually really expecting us to come down and hit that pitchfork midline. But you can see with this rally, we're pushing up, we're breaking the value area high with a nice volume imbalance candle, and we're really coming for the highs. Now, I do not know why TradingView does this, but if I go on to lower time frames, it's anchored on the high, but when you're on the daily, it's not showing it's anchored on the high. So I don't know if that's some sort of glitch that TradingView is doing. But I expect us. I mean, we're very close to taking out those highs on the total market cap chart, and with the way this is impulsing here, we absolutely could keep pushing up until we take out those highs. And honestly, we could keep pushing up until we hit the pitchfork band or even the top of the pitchfork band here. So we just have to be patient and watch this. But we've gotten above our prior highs here. No SFP of the prior highs. So now I'm really expecting us to come up and take out these highs on the total market cap. That means that money is going to be flowing into the entire crypto sector. And for me, that is means more pumpage to come. All right, let's check this. I want to really pay attention here because if we do start to lose this 786, we do have 15-minute bear divs. Let's go on to the 5-minute chart real quick. 5-minute, we do have slight bear divs, money flow draining out of the asset, local bear divs here. If we start to lose this 786, then we could be looking at a potential short position. So let's say we're going to short down here. Stop is going to go above that high. Now, my first target would just be the VWAP. Right there, that's a 4-to-1 risk-reward ratio. If you start closing, now, of course, you're going to have to adjust this. This is probably going to be a little bit lower here, somewhere in there. But that could just be a TP1. Then move your stop loss to break even. And if this thing really starts to decide to dump, then sure, you can hold a majority of that position open, knowing that the way that we pushed up here is kind of unhealthy in some ways. This straight up movement, remember, smooth move, quick move up means also could mean quick move back down. Even if it's back down to just create a higher low, it does mean we could get a quick move back down. Now, if we do drop, I want to show you guys a couple things on the drop. If we do drop, let's turn on that intermediate range, the range that we've been in since the middle of July. You can see here July 11th, July 10th or so. We're attempting to break out of the value area high. Let me get rid of this now. We're attempting to break out of the value area high of the range. But if we do reject from this 786 and we fall back inside of this volume profile, we could find reacceptance back in, and it could be the end of this big impulse here. And what we could be looking at is a pullback to your golden pocket. So if we pull that golden pocket from the lows last Thursday to our highs from this Thursday today, and we turn on that golden pocket, look at where that golden pocket's going to be coming in. I mean, this is such key where I would be expecting a swing long opportunity from here. Golden pocket, value area low, both your anchored VWAPs and your Fibonacci 618 of the channel at that about 113.4 to about 113K. And for me, that would be a really, really nice area to potentially look for. If this is your big impulse, you get a pullback. If we're looking at that pullback, we want to see a 3-wave corrective move down to that golden pocket. If we come down to this area, specifically about 113K, swing long opportunity, because then we could get that big explosion up to new all-time highs and potentially even seeing that move up to 135K in a bigger 5-wave impulse to the upside. Okay, let me check the chat here. OI has been decreasing. Well, if we look at the aggregated OI, this is aggregated open interest. So this takes into account all the major exchanges. Our open interest actually has been increasing over this last week. You can see from the lows of last week, we were kind of flat over the weekend. Of course, flat over the weekend. And then as soon as we started this pump, our open interest has been pretty steadily increasing here on the aggregated charts, aggregated open interest, which means a lot of new positions are opening. Players are entering the market. And I mean, just look at this, guys. This to me could signal, even if we get the pullback. Remember, with bullish CVD absorption, you're looking for higher lows to be put on the chart, but that doesn't mean you can't get retraces. So even if we did retrace to that golden pocket at 113K, we could get that pullback to 113K. And if this open interest keeps kind of decreasing, or the CVD, excuse me, decreasing like this, we get CVD continuing to decrease and we get our open interest kind of continuing to increase here, we would be seeing massive bullish CVD absorption continuing to build. We already have it building as we speak, but massive bullish CVD absorption. If we come into that 113K golden pocket with continued bullish absorption, that could be your big trigger for a swing long opportunity where this thing could run up to, 130, 135K. And I'll be watching that very, very closely over the next couple of weeks. Now, the scenario, if we do not reject here or do not reject at that 886 level above us, then I will start to get a little bit concerned of a double top type of thing coming in where we SFP the all-time high. This move has been so aggressive here. And I know most of the traders that I know that wait for levels to be hit, a lot of people didn't get in at these lows here because they were waiting for that 886 and that daily that was at 108.5 to 108.2 to be hit. And because we did not get down there, myself included, did not long, we were waiting for that level to be hit. I believe that's this guy right down here. We had a daily down there and we had that 886 Fibonacci coming in right around 108.5. And so we could see that big pullback. If a lot of the big players didn't get in down there, we could see that big pullback occur as well. Or we could see the bigger double top and then a whole big move down. ETH to the moon, divine hood. So on Ethereum, I actually gave a target yesterday. I said I expected the move up to the golden pocket, which was in confluence with our pitchfork band at 4,400. And you see, we did get some reaction there. I did take 50% of my long trade out right there. But I said the real position that I was looking at was this purple box between 42.79 and 44.79 and 44.89. But we're even breaking above that right now. And I did say if we break above that, I'm really ultimately looking to come up to the top of the pitchfork band in the value area high because we broke above our POC, flipped it on low time frames to support. Now we could continue to impulse up to that value area high, which is very important resistance because once again, in a larger range, we're in a larger range on Ethereum. That 886 Fibonacci is at the value area high, and it is in confluence with the top of the pitchfork again. But remember, I talked about this in yesterday's video. If you go watch yesterday's video, I talked about the overall bias on Ethereum is to come up to $5,200 to $5,600 based off the Elliott impulse that we're seeing of the big 5-wave impulse. And remember, over the past couple of weeks, we were looking for a 3-wave corrective move, either to come down to that 382 or a 3-wave corrective move to come down to the 0.5. I was hoping we would get down to the 0.5. To me, that would have been a better swing long position. But I am actually long from 38.72. I'm long from the reclaim of that 382. And that's on MEXC, not on my BYDFI account. It's on my MEXC account. But we are expecting that 5-wave impulse to complete. A wave 1 here, a wave 2 here, our wave 3 here, wave 4 here. Now we're looking for a wave 5 potentially to come up to that $5,600 area where Ethereum could be in an impulse here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a 5-wave impulse within your bigger wave 5 to come up. And so, yeah, locally, 886 is an interesting level to look for rejection here on Ethereum because we are breaking above the naked weekly, the naked daily, and the daily level. That 786, of course, is always a level of interest, but the 886 is really what I'm looking at here. 886 at 46.61 would be very nice if all of this was going to be a wave 1. We reject from that 886. We get a pullback to the golden pocket, and then we get that big third wave that brings us up maybe to the 1.236, we get a wave 4, and then our fifth wave brings us up to that 1.618, where then we could end that final fifth wave of that bigger weekly impulse to the upside. I can tell you, once we start getting up to these levels up here, I will be taking some profit on spot as well. Okay. What's up, Time Attack? It's super good to see you in here, man. For Ethereum, the prediction in 5 figures. I wish it was. That's pretty high for me. Now, Ethereum, when Ethereum runs, it runs, and so I wouldn't be surprised if it does, but we just got to be aware. We just got to be realistic, and like Jason says all the time, be conservative, have conservative targets, and it's better to be surprised if it keeps going past your conservative targets rather than have these outlandish moon boy targets and be waiting to take profit until it gets up there, and then all of a sudden now you don't take profit because you were waiting for it to come higher. Okay. Told you guys two bears. Yeah, PJR. I don't. This 200K still is, to me, a little bit over aggressive. Yes, we pump up. Everyone gets super euphoric when we pump up. From 108K to 100 and 11% pump. Now that is a very aggressive pump in 1 week. Very, very aggressive pump in 1 week, $12,000 pump here. But that, we're still what, $80,000 away from 200K. And you would really have to see some big, big catalysts to get up there anytime soon. Yep. Okay. So now let's go ahead. And it looks like right now, very, very locally, Bitcoin is flipping that 786 into support. Look at this. Break above it, back test it, continuing. I expect Bitcoin could continue here up to the 886. If we do start to kind of double top here and then fall back underneath that 786, I'll probably look for a short position. Manage your risk. Remember, if you're going to take that short position, you're going to take the short upon the loss. Your stop is going to go above the high, and you're going to calculate your position size based off of this number, 0.27%. So you're going to take 1% of your account, whatever that is. Say you have a $10,000 account, then that's going to be $100. You're going to take $100 and divide it by 0.0027, because remember, you have to move that decimal over 2. And that'll give you your position size. That way, if you get stopped out, you'll only lose 1% on that trade. Yeah, Garage 30, we, myself included, were bearish because the probabilities were for bearish price action based off of the larger break in market structure. When you do have a break in market structure, a bearish break in market structure, by breaking these lows here, you break your range lows, you make new lows, a couple new lows on the chart. Now, because of that bearish break in market structure, you have to at least have a higher probability of looking for a lower high before making another lower low. And so that is just based off a technical analysis. The technical analysis was suggesting that we could go lower. And if we would have hit that 886 down here, just a little bit below us, that would have even given you more a probability to take out those 107.2K lows. And I would say, yes, this pump is very aggressive. This is a very, very aggressive pump. And I know that we did have some macro news going on, government shutdown stuff. I don't think that's driving this too much. The government currently, I believe, is still shut down. But yeah, let's see how things go here. Let's see how things go here. 300K. Yeah. You know what? PJR and Samuel S., I actually hope you guys are right. I would love to have that super cycle. I would love to see those prices that high. I am a spot holder, so please don't think I'm bearish, right? I don't want it to go that high. Of course I do. I'm just trying to stay realistic a little bit on this price action. And I'm not saying you guys aren't realistic. This could absolutely pump to 200K realistically. I wouldn't say very soon. I would say, maybe in the next 6 months or so, it could probably pump there. But remember, technicals, guys. Now, I will show you guys this as well. The weekly time frame. Let me go on to a different chart here. The weekly time frame, we are printing a green dot on the weekly, and our money flow is now rising up again. And we have the triple drive of bear div on the weekly, 74K high, 108K high, new all-time highs that we have currently. We have those triple drive of bear divs, and we even have money flow bear divs. But as long as this money flow is rising here on the weekly, we can expect it to keep coming up. I was saying from a couple weeks ago that I did expect a new all-time high. I was just thinking we would come down in a WXY a little bit lower before making that new all-time high. But I was ultimately expecting one more new all-time high. Now, after we make that new all-time high, that's going to give us the real story. If we continue impulsing above that all-time high, I will be looking at that 135K level with a lot of scrutiny, and even we could even make it up to the top of the pitchfork here, like around 150K, depending on how quick we get up there, 150 to 155K. But I guarantee you that if we get up here and we continue to see bear divs on the chart, I will absolutely be selling some spot. Absolutely. We'll also keep an eye on that total pitchfork there, the total market cap pitchfork, and if we get down there, excuse me, get up there, up to the top up here as well. It's remember last time in December, I got so much hate for this in December of 2024 when we were coming up to the top of this pitchfork. Everybody was saying Bitcoin was going to pump up to 120K. We are at 108K, and I said based off the high time frame resistances that Bitcoin was hitting, but also that the total market cap was hitting, I was going to take profit on altcoins and Bitcoin. And then sure enough, we got a multi-month drop to the downside. And so we'll just look at the technicals as we get up there. Yeah, I mean this total market cap today, it does look like, I mean Bitcoin is at resistance right now, but it doesn't look like it wants to reject from the 786. It's just not seeing the rejection we want to see. Money flow looks really bullish here. Until we lose that 786, I'm not even thinking about shorting this. And really looking up now towards that 886 Fibonacci. Let's put that on the chart. So 122, 562. It's going to differ a little bit by each exchange, but that area, and then remember we have that daily coming in at, what is that, 123, 365. So though this general area in here is where I'm going to really be looking for the next resistance. Okay, guys, before we go into the altcoins, just real quickly, I want to talk about the partners of the channel. We do have BYDFI. They are the main partner of the channel. They are a VPN and KYC free exchange. All you need is an email and a password to sign up. If you do sign up using my affiliate link, you'll get a minimum of 20% off discounts on trading fees, but you can get up to 40% discounts on trading fees depending on how much you deposit. If you deposit just $100, they'll give you a 50% sign up bonus, an initial deposit bonus, and then you can get various 10 to 20% deposit bonuses depending on how much you deposit. They offer up to $8,100 in futures trading bonuses depending on how much volume you move in those future markets. And I've partnered with BYDFI to create a Telegram community where I do post some of my market analysis and some of my trade setups. It's free to join. The only thing you have to do is sign up to BYDFI with my affiliate link and deposit $100. That $100 is still your money to trade with. You'll get the discounts on trading fees. You'll get the bonus. And then you can click on the link in the description of this video, the Telegram link. Once you get in there, type in /verify and then your user ID, which will be string of letters and numbers up here. And that'll get you access to that Telegram community. Second partner of the channel is NAMI Trading. NAMI is this momentum and money flow indicator down here. Very, very useful for entry and exit confirmations on trades. They are offering a 50% off special if you do 50% off discount if you sign up using my affiliate link. So both the discount code and the link are in the description as well. And then lastly, we have MEXC and Bybit. Both very, very great reputable exchanges with low fees and they're offering futures trading bonuses depending on how much volume you trade in those futures markets as well. So those are the partners of the channel. Thank you guys for listening to that, and we will go into some of the altcoins right now. So I know I briefly covered Ethereum. Ethereum is busting up past that naked weekly point of control and that daily level, and I believe we don't have too much else up until we get to that 886. Yeah, I would say that 886 coming up here at the value area high of our range and at the top of the pitchfork again is where really my next level is going to be looking at. The 786, of course, we do need to watch that as well. But for me, that 886 is far more important than that 786, especially if we start to see Bitcoin dominance dropping. This would be really nice to see, maybe something like this, little rejection, come up to that 886, reject up here, and then see a bigger pullback before coming up and continuing. So all of this could be a wave one. Then we could get that pullback in a wave two, a big wave three. And then I would say that wave three could come all the way up to that 236. And then the 4, 5 to complete your 5-wave impulse within your bigger weekly fifth wave. So for me, Ethereum, yeah, we are. Let's see, did we take out these little lower highs? Yeah, we did take out those little internal SFP there. But I expect us to now flip this to support, just like we flipped some more local levels yesterday to support, and to probably continue pushing up higher. If we go on to our other Ethereum chart, we're breaking above the pitchfork band. So let me hide that golden pocket. We're breaking above that pitchfork band. And yes, on Bybit, we are still at that naked weekly POC and that naked daily POC, both right on top of each other pretty much. I expect that we could start to pull back from here, but if we do, we could be looking at that as well. That pitchfork band of support now is going to be coming in around that $4,400 level, 44.20, 44.10. To me, that could be acting as a support level now because we do know how these pitchfork bands work. When you get above these pitchfork bands, they'll hold this support, make new highs, hold this support, get a push up at least. And so if we come back down, hold this, push back up, we can at least push up to that value area high to fill that range in full. Overall, we're expecting that bigger push to new all-time highs based off of hitting the macro 382. And also, if we look at our bigger WXY correction and we pull that trend-based Fibonacci extinction from the highs to the lows of your initial push down back up to your lower highs, where did we end that 1.236? Or where do we end that dump to the downside? Right at the 1.236 and right at the 382. Remember, we had a box marked out here, and I extended the box down a little bit to touch that pitchfork band, but we had our box marked out there. That was our first macro support level that we were looking at, was down in that area, and we hit that area perfect, and now we're starting to really push up from that area. So this was expected that we could have bounced from the macro 382. Remember, the 382 acts as strong support in a strong trend. Whether that trend is to the upside or to the downside, that 382 in a stronger macro trend, let's say in an impulse here, you have this impulse and you get the big push. 382 will act as strong support, and then that means the trend is strong and will continue if you keep bouncing from that 382 level. And the fact that we are bouncing from that 382 and really impulsing up out of that 382 is a sign that Ethereum overall on the more macro time frame is bullish. Now, that's been a pretty aggressive move up from that 382 level. Right now, we are up, 18%. So we can expect some pullbacks to come in soon. Even if we pump up to that 886, that's going to be like a 25% push to the upside. Yeah, 22% push to the upside. We could see pullbacks on that afterwards. But overall, I'll be looking for new all-time highs on Ethereum. Okay, let's go into Arbitrum real quick. Arbitrum bounced from the bottom of the descending channel. Now, I'm a little bit sad that we didn't come down and hit the golden pocket. The golden pocket in the weekly at 38.28. That's what we were really looking at the last time we looked at this on Arbitrum. But you can see here on Arbitrum, we do have this nice kind of bottoming formation, whether you want to call it an inverse head and shoulders or a accumulation, tap 1, tap 2, tap 3. You have your kind of bottoming reversal pattern, inverse head and shoulders. You're starting to break that to the upside now. And I would say on Arbitrum, let's pull that volume profile all the way. Yeah, I would be looking up to the POC. The POC is going to be at the top of the descending channel, about 49.40 or 49.35 ish. So for me, that's the next big level that I would be watching for a push up to. You can see in this area, we don't have much resistance to be looking at. Look at this, was all kind of an imbalance in the chart, a fair value gaps. That if we start breaking up into those fair value gaps, we could fill those gaps and push up very, very quickly up to that 49.35 area. Then if we see the pullback from that area, I'd be looking for a higher low before breaking this channel to the upside. And remember, when we break these channels to the upside, yes, we do have the value area high at 53 cents or 53.2. But honestly, I would be looking to come up to sweep the second pivot of that channel. Oftentimes when you break a channel, you sweep the second pivot. And I'd be looking to come up at least to that weekly level up there. Let's look here. Okay, we do have a fresh weekly before that, though. Let's put that on the chart. Yeah, we're going to have some couple little levels. We have a daily level also coming in around 54.69. I'll throw that one on there. Money flow looks pretty bullish right now on the daily time frame. Coming up very nicely. Now on NAMI, you can see money flow has been in the red and it's just now starting to round off here. And if NAMI's money flow starts to really curve up as well, this is going to be really nice to see that bigger push to the upside on Arbitrum. Really surprised that we front ran this golden pocket. I really am surprised that we front ran that. Okay, and then let's look at our naked weekly points of controls here. And we do have a new naked monthly because yeah, naked weekly is going to be at that weekly. So the POC of the range, which is a multi-month range, along with that naked weekly POC and the top of the channel at about 42.39 or 42.32, 49.32, excuse me. Your naked monthly is there as well. So very strong volume resistance above us at the top of the descending channel. For me, just based off those volume levels, that would be a TP in a potential pullback area, especially if we're going to continue this bigger descending channel correction until we actually come down to this golden pocket that was front run. So I would not be surprised if we continue to chop here, come all the way up here to reject from here and come all the way back down to hit that actual golden pocket in that weekly before seeing the break of the channel and the push up to the really to the top of our bigger channel or even to up to our logarithmic golden pocket above us. 8-hour chart money flow doesn't look the best here, and on NAMI it's starting to top out. So yeah, we could probably continue pushing a little bit more, continue pushing up. I mean, this fair value gap that you see in here, this fair value gap that we had, we're already starting to fill it, and I know that's a horrible line there. I'd just be looking up towards that 49, 49 to 49.32 level. Money flow looks really nice on the 2-hour. We did print a hidden bull div earlier today on that initial drop that we saw this morning. Hidden bull div signal printed. So yeah, I think this thing is going to keep running up to that naked monthly point of control, at naked weekly point of control up there. Let's 15-minute. 15-minute is starting to develop some bear divs very, very locally. What was this from yesterday's high? So you can see from yesterday's high to today's high, we are starting to see those bear divs coming in, and also money flow bear divs starting to come in. But we are not confirming it on higher time frames. So it's very possible that this thing could just keep kind of grinding up here until we actually come up to the top of that channel in that POC area. Yeah. Starting to form some divs though. Money flow is going to overpower those divs, but if we keep going up, making higher highs and higher lows like this and continue to form these divs as we're getting up into that POC top of the channel area, that for me would be a big sign to take some profit and potentially even flip short. Yeah, you even have a daily level up there, guys. You even have that daily level that's right on top of that. So definitely 49, 49.33, naked weekly point of control, daily level, range point of control, top of the descending channel, our smaller corrective channel. I mean, that is your area to be watching. You can see after breaking above this channel midline, we were kind of finding resistance at the beginning of the day, got a small drop, took out local range lows, and now we're pushing up, breaking above that midline. Okay, let me check the chat and then we will go into Chainlink. Am I looking for a short on Bitcoin, ZC? I am, but I'm not taking it until we get confirmation. And because we are above that, okay, wait, let me check this. We're kind of flirting with flipping the 786 into support now, so I'd be looking to come up to the 886. Now, if we start to lose that 786, which I would probably wait for a 5-minute candle close below that 786, then I would look for a short just down to the VWAP. That could be a scalp short. Maybe something like down here. Stop is going to go above the high. You're going to be targeting VWAP. 2.5. That would be a TP1 of 25%. And then I would really be targeting the back test of the value area high breakout. Remember, guys, when we break out of these value area highs, these volume profile levels, oftentimes after rejecting from a local resistance above, you will come back to bullishly backtest that to see whether the market's going to confirm a flip to support or not. And then if it confirms a flip to support, you continue higher. Very similar to what we saw earlier this week on Monday with the the break above the value area high, the back test of the value area high, confirm a flip to support, you break higher. And what did we reject from local golden pocket resistance above? Hit local golden pocket resistance above. Let me get rid of that. Came back down, back tested that value area high, and then pushed. It just looks very bullish for me here. And the way we're flirting around up here, I'm not buying it yet. I'm not buying it yet. Let's actually look at our open interest here. CVD and open interest charts. Man, there's just a lot. That last push higher was a bit we got some positions stopped out here on that last bit higher. Those short positions got stopped out, which caused the CVD to go up because of closing of a short is a market buy. And we could tell that those were not new positions because our open interest was going down. Oftentimes, you will end the high on a liquidation, on people getting liquidated. So now, if we start to close. Okay, now we're starting to see our first signs. Candle close. Let's see if we see that candle close below. And if we're going to be looking at something like this, that's a 0.43% risk there. Let me just take a look at this. Mm. Okay, 1 minute chart. Yeah, I mean, we do locally on that liquidation, we had 1 minute bear divs. Now, money flow is starting to drain out and cross into the red on the 1 minute. We're losing that 786. Chainlink, time attack me as well. Chainlink's one of my favorite, man. No, Elliott wave trading actually will not always make you bearish. Actually, Elliott wave trading was what kind of told us that overall this last couple months of a move that we saw from the all-time highs was a corrective move and that we were eventually going to make new all-time highs. The fact that this move down was not impulsive, but a double zigzag to the downside was telling us that no matter what, we were looking for a larger WXY, but after that to make new all-time highs, not to break down in the bull market. So Elliott waves actually were suggesting higher. Now on this here, if this was going to be a three-wave move up to the golden pocket and then a rejection, yes, you could have Elliott waves would have made you bearish that this was a five-wave move down followed by a three-wave move up, probably followed by another five-wave move down. But because we did make that fourth wave and then now a fifth, this could be an extended fifth, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Because we're impulsing up out of this move, now we can actually, our bias is flipped to bullish. Even if we reject here, we're going to be looking for that golden pocket for a higher low before creating a big third wave to new all-time highs and a higher high. So yes, now the probabilities on the Elliott waves have actually flipped bullish, changing yesterday. Check the liquidity. Storm on Saturn. What? Check the liquidity on Bitcoin. Are you talking about the heat map here? Really, locally, there's nothing. There's some liquidity above us, very, very locally for today. Actually, we're kind of even taking out all that. Let's go to our Model 2. That's more local. Yeah, we even took out our local liquidity above us for today. If we look at the last week of price action, I mean, pretty much all the liquidity to the upside has been taken. Let's go to the last week here. Yeah, I mean, almost all of it's below us now. So I would, that liquidity is sitting really at underneath 107K lows is where the majority of the liquidity is sitting. If we check that heat map again and I show you that, the majority of the liquidity is sitting below the 107K area. Very, very clearly. Sitting down here below those lows. Yeah, this is why I was hesitant. The way that this looks, guys, I think we're going to continue up to that 886. I mean, this is almost looking bull flaggy right here. Break that up, get to that 886. Now, everyone's going to be longing above the 786, thinking that new all time highs are coming. And that's when you could reject from that 886. And I'm not like, here's the thing, guys, I'm not automatically setting a limit up here and just waiting for it to get filled. If we continue to develop bearish divergences as we come up there, then I'll start looking, but there's no guarantee you're going to reject from the 886. Historically, in these ranges, we have, and that's why I'm paying more attention to it this time. Because the last time we had a range like this, it was right about 90 days in that we saw that rejection from an 886. Yeah, gold has been going crazy, PJR. I just think a lot of the world is so skeptical on governments printing more money, devaluing more and more of their currency. People are coming, there's alternatives now. What is it? Gold and digital gold, which is Bitcoin. So, yeah. Um, is BYDFI US friendly? Yeah, I believe it is. I mean, I'm in the US and I'm using BYDFI. So now some areas are restricted. I don't think I'm using my VPN on BYDFI. So yes, I believe you can use BYDFI in the United States. Yeah, ETH still going crazy? Oh, ETH has okay. No, we did SFP those internal highs on ETH, but I'm really looking now for ETH to flip this daily into support to continue up at least to the 786 or really to that 886. So I covered ETH a little bit, but if we do start to lose this 4479 level, I mean, this was a very big volume resistance. So if we start to lose it and then come back up and back test it, I will look for the short there. Because that was our big level on ETH. Is a naked weekly point of control, a naked daily point of control, and a daily level, all right up in here. The way we pushed so aggressively past it and the way money flow looked, to me, I just don't like what I'm seeing so far. I'm definitely not shorting until I see a sign of weakness or at least a little bit of a range form. You know, if we get that little bit of a range, then you can start looking at shorting in here. Okay, looks like we've got a lot of coins to check here, guys. What indicator is this? Is called NAMI trading, and this is called Market Cipher B. Yeah, thank you, R Pink. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. Thank you, R Pink, for stopping in. Yeah, please hit the likes, guys. If you get any sort of insight into the market from these videos, please hit the likes. Let's get into some of the altcoins. I know Bitcoin is doing its thing. We're trying to catch a Bitcoin trade here. I hate to miss this though, guys. If this is a bigger high, Solana is coming up. Remember, in yesterday's video, I talked about this is the main area I'm looking at. But Solana is at that golden pocket and the top of the pitchfork band. So let me just delete this real quick. I'm really looking for Solana. You know, you see we're at the top of the pitchfork band, and it was our golden pocket as well. So this is an area where we could pull back. But if we pull back from here, I'm going to be looking at the bottom and then coming up to that naked weekly and the weekly above us. Solana just looks bullish, guys, and like the bullish 1-2-1-2. This could be a third wave all the way up to this, and then 4-5-4-5 to come up. We talked about that on Tuesday's live stream. So that's kind of our bullish count for Solana. But the money flow looks really good here. Momentum looks pretty good. 4-hour chart, you know, just crossing into the green here. NAMI money flow looks really good here. So even if we get a small pullback from this area, from the top of this pitchfork band, I'm really going to be looking for longs on this thing. Yeah, we've hit past our 1.618. Let's go to our 2.618. Man, yeah, see, I think we're going to come up to that purple box, around that purple box up there. But let's see how it reacts. The thing is, if Bitcoin starts to really pull back from this 786, then the altcoins will pull back as well. Okay, let's go into Chainlink, guys. Chainlink is breaking out of this descending channel. We did have this as a pullback area. That's no longer going to be looked at. And we are coming up to that resistance that we had marked out, being the naked daily point of control at 23.15. But really, we're looking up towards the range point of control and the golden pocket, 23.4 to 23.6. Yes, seeing a little bit of a reaction from the naked daily point of control. I just want to check the naked weekly point of control here. Yeah, it's a naked weekly's higher. So for me, this area right here, naked weekly point of control, 23.4 to 23.6. is the area that I'm really going to be looking at for chain link to push up to. Once we get up there, we can look at, even if it's just going to be a small rejection, to back test that value area low and then continue up to value area high. That for me would be an area to look at. Now, this box of resistance up here, remember we hit the 618 perfectly, but we did not hit the volume resistance above. So if we pull a golden pocket from the highs of this drop down to the lows of this drop down, and we put on that golden pocket, we rejected from that 618. And that's why we had the box there, the start of the box there. But we also had a naked daily point of control, a naked weekly point of control. Let's see, did we have a weekly level at 25.8? We had a date, not a daily. Let me check to make sure that's still fresh. Okay, that naked monthly we're hitting into right now as well. Let me turn that on. Okay, wait, that one's an old one. We got to get rid of that one. We're hitting up into a fresh naked monthly right now that just confirmed 2 days ago. So naked monthly's here, but the naked weekly is a little bit higher, and there's more confluence at that naked weekly at 24.47. I'm looking to come up a little bit higher. Money flow suggests we could come up a little bit higher as well. Yeah, I would say, and if we break above this golden pocket, I think we're going to come up to this next box of resistance up here where there's that weekly level above us and the liquidity into the value area high. So actually now what we can do is shift that box, this prior box. Let's turn on that weekly. And I would shift it from the weekly up to that value area high. That, and then of course you would have the SFP of this low, or this high, excuse me, and this high into that value area high. So break above 23.6. I think we're eventually going up to like $26. But we're probably going to see this, a rejection from the midline, a back test of that POC, and then a move up there. So if you reject from here, you could be looking for a long from the back test of the POC. Perfect rejection from the naked daily, but it was also a naked monthly that just closed 2 days ago, a new naked monthly. Little rejection. If we do pull back down to the VWAP, that actually could be a nice little long there. What is that? 22.55. It's probably your 50% Fibonacci. Yeah. And the reason why I'm saying that, looking for scalp longs, is because our momentum shows that on money flow, our momentum shows that longs are still likely to continue. No bear divs. Longs, any pullbacks now, you could be looking for scalp longs where, of course, if you're playing it as a scalp, at least take some profit at the next resistance, move your stop loss up to break even. And then if it does reverse here and you get stopped out, okay, well, you still made some small profit. All right, and then let's do one last golden pocket pulled from the highs to the lows. Golden pocket. Okay. I don't like where it's at. I mean, there is this internal liquidity grab into a golden pocket. And anytime you see a liquidity grab into a golden pocket, you definitely need to pay attention. But the 786 is just going to be much better. You have your 786, you have your weekly, you have your double SFPs of here and here into that. So that next purple box, 23.83 to 26.32, really 3.3. Okay, that is it for Chainlink. Let me scroll back up and we'll look at some of these coins. Fartcoin. Did I have? I guess we haven't done TA on this in some time. Yeah, there we go. Okay, well, we did reject that 786. You saw that three wave corrective move down. Then you made new highs. You took out your liquidity from your last highs. And now we're moving down here. The thing is with this move down, one, two, three, four, five. So we did end our five wave impulse. So at the very least, you could be looking for that retracement if you pull your fib from your prior highs to your lows, and you could be looking at that golden pocket there, 128 ish. Let's pull our range as well. I see a bigger range in here. All right, this is kind of bad. You guys, we were in a volume profile. No, I know it's not the cleanest volume profile. It's not the most filled. We have a lot of empty space in here. But broke out of it, back tested, new high, back tested, new high, came down, back tested, lower high, attempted to get back in it, but that was that three wave corrective move, taking out the lows. And then you get back above, you take the liquidity of the highs. But since taking the liquidity of the highs, we have fallen back in, back tested it twice, and we're dropping. So you found reacceptance back inside this volume profile. One other volume profile I would look at is this upper volume profile. This guy here. And you're even below the value area low of that upper volume profile. You can see this is a very important level, this 95, 93 to 95 cent area. Yeah, and if we do reject from the back test of the value area high, that's going to confirm for me that more downside is likely. Because remember, a 382 acts in a strong trend. A 382 will act as strong resistance in this case. It's in confluence with that value area high. Now that we have re-entered back within, you had your immediate low time frame back tests here in rejection. We made new lows after that immediate low time frame. So now if we come up for a higher time frame back test and reject it, you can expect new lows below these lows. If you break above it, then this five wave count is done, and then you're going to expect to see a three wave corrective move up to that golden pocket at the very least at 128. Okay, really no new naked weeklies. This down here is very interesting because if we really start to drop, you have a naked weekly near your value area low. And we did have a naked monthly that we front ran right below us. So here's the thing, if we do reject this 382, I expect us to come down and actually touch that naked monthly. You also have a fresh daily level that is right up near this value area high. So this is becoming a nice box of resistance above us. Value area high, daily 382. Liquidity, liquidity. And then that weekly is going to be near your golden pocket. Yeah, golden pocket here at the weekly. So that is definitely going to be a level of support that I'd be watching for. 51 to 44. Sorry, yeah, 51 to 40, 40 44 to 42, excuse me. I'm sorry. First level of resistance, local resistance, I would be looking for is that weekly in that 786. But if we make it up there, remember you're going to break past that golden pocket. You could see that small pullback from the golden pocket. If we do reject from here, I would expect a bigger pullback to at least take out these lows, and then I would expect to come up here. Sort of a flat type of correction in here. But yeah, watch 87 cents, watch like that 93 to 97 cent area. If you break above 97, you have a high chance of going all the way up to 128, which was the golden pocket. Let me check something. All right, since that's a 68% move down, you got to make that a log golden a fib log golden pocket. So yeah, 113. And then I would watch for the deviation to take out the liquidity here. That's if you make it up there. Okay. Let's go into AVAX real quick. AVAX has been interesting lately because we did reject from the macro resistance, and we're still kind of grinding within this wave. To me, this is either going to be really bearish or really bullish because and not in between, because this could be a 1 2 1 2 1 2. Remember, we came to the bottom of the channel where the POC was, and we bounced from the bottom of the channel. We talked about this on Tuesday. If we do that, we can expect to come up to the top of the channel where that golden pocket is. If this is just a corrective kind of bear flag, you're going to break that down. You're going to come down at least to that $26 area where actually I would prefer us to come in a nice bigger 3-wave corrective move down to 26. But right now, locally, it does look like we want to at least come up and touch this golden pocket first. And remember, this actually you'd have to count as a W, and then all of this is an X, a multi-zigzag X, and then a Y down here. So you'd be looking for that 3-wave corrective move. But that really $33 area, top of the channel, value area high, golden pocket, is the next level of local resistance that I would watch. And then we already hit the local support below us. Remember, that was this golden pocket. We pulled this on Tuesday. Golden pocket at the bottom of the channel. So we bounced from the bottom of the channel. If you guys go back and watch Tuesday, now we can probably push up to here to the value area high because we're flipping the POC into support. Look, it was acting as resistance in here, broke above it, flipped it to support. So now you have a high probability to work your way up to value area high. So $33 is an area that I would be potentially interested in looking for a short position. Let's just put an alert there. Down to 26. Higher time frames, I'm bullish on Avalanche. We had our accumulation range, our daily accumulation range. You can see we were struggled to break out. Huge breakout. Volume filled breakout to the upside. Okay, after that volume filled breakout, you hit up into your main resistance. If we pull back in a 3-wave move down to 26, that could be a swing long opportunity to come all the way up to 45. So for me, that little scalp short from 33 down to 26 would be nice. If we do get that, I'll be looking for long at 26 to continue up. First off, Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I gotcha. I do not know how long I was gone. Thank you so much. Finally checked it. Sorry, guys. Let's see. Man, I completely deleted and re-downloaded that software, that AMD software, noise suppression software. So, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I was deep into analyzing. Very sorry about that. Check. Hey, okay, here we go. I think I got it, guys. Now, I'm really sorry about that. That time the noise suppression wasn't even on. Um, to recap for Super, guys, we are in this bigger upper range up here. And what I would say about this on Super is that we had that very clear 5-wave impulse here. We saw a bigger flat correction in here. And if that's done and we are going to be bullish, then we want to see a break up above the value, really a break even above the POC and the value area high and a flip to support. If we don't see that, we have to watch out for this, even a push up to the golden pocket area and creating that bigger distribution pattern, like a tap one, a tap two. And if we come up here in a tap three, because here's what we saw. We saw very clear accumulation down here. Accumulation, accumulation, accumulation. You got your big expansion. So all the people, the smart people that were buying in here, smart money that was buying down here, they've had the expansion phase and now they could be in distribution up here. It is towards the end of the bull market. Left shoulder ahead, right shoulder towards the end of the bull market. If we do reject, we could drop all the way back down to come back inside of this range or at least test the highs of this range, coming back down to 22.5 cents. So be aware of that. But locally, we did have that 5-wave impulse here. 5-wave impulse. We could have bigger flat correction, and we're impulsing up. The one thing that's bearish about this is that wick that takes out both the highs. We took out our equal highs. You can see this wick up here took out our equal highs. So we just took out our accumulation range highs. And because we've done that and we've dropped so aggressively, you're going to be wanted to be watching for a bigger 3-wave corrective move down. And we did reject from the 382 Fibonacci. Not a good sign there. Actually, let's make sure that that is on log scale. Yeah, still reject from that general area of the 382. Very, very locally on Super, you need to hold. You kind of need to hold this. This golden pocket's already been tested, because it was pulled from this low to the highs, and we've already come down and we've been flirting around with this range here. I would say if we lose this POC at 62.5, then you're at least going to come down and grab these lows down here at 57.2. You have a monthly down there, so you'd come down, grab those lows at 57.2. If you SFP those lows, you could be ranging for a little bit more before continuing to break up here. But if you break 57.2, we do see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a 5-wave move down, followed by a 3-wave corrective move up. We could be looking at another big 5-wave move down to come actually take out our semi-equal lows down here. Aptos. So we were talking about Aptos last time, how this is a very clear accumulation right down here on the weekly time frame. You have your bigger range here. Let's just get rid of that for a second. But this is your weekly accumulation range. And you can see we bounced from the value area low and we're really starting to explode out of here. Like if you bought Aptos down near the value area low or earlier this week when we talked about Aptos, or I think it was last week, look at this. Like this is so, Aptos could be about ready to really finally see expansion here, expansion way higher. So first, let's go ahead and look at some of the levels that we have to look at. Okay, no monthlies till way up there. That weekly is no longer valid. Okay, sound is still on. I'm just being quiet. Sorry, guys. I when I'm starting to do my TA, I'm not watching the chat while I'm speaking about the TA. So I'm really sorry. I know I need to get better at watching that. When you guys do all those emojis in the chat, that's what gets my attention. So thank you for doing that to whoever was doing that. Okay, what I would say here is it looks highly likely that we're going to come up to the weekly value area high. And the crazy thing is all of this could be part of a bigger impulse to the upside. Wave one, wave two, wave three, four, five. We could be about to finally break this accumulation range. We've been in this range since February. So almost a full year now, or 8 months now. We've been in an accumulation range on Aptos. Aptos is a really big, uh, useful layer one. And man, this thing could really run. And like, if we start to expand, I think we could easily make it up to this 921 to 972 area. Easily make it up here. Of course, watch the liquidity pullbacks like this range high here at $7.05. You could get the SFP and then a small pullback before continuation up there. But your key resistance is coming up right now. Your local key resistance is coming up. Not yet, but soon. And even if we reject from that, the way we are kind of impulsing up out of here and we made that nice low at the value area low, I would expect us to pull back to your golden pocket so you could pull. Let's just throw it up to value area high. Yeah, you could pull back to around this area and then really start to explode. Money flow looks really good on Market Cipher B and on Nami. Ludong, I wouldn't swing long it from here because you're so close to your resistance. But if you pull back, I absolutely like that POC there now of the smaller range of the accumulation range. That POC, look at here, resistance, resistance. Now, if you reject from here and you flip, you come down to 468. I mean, that could be one of the best swing longs in a long time if we're about to see the altcoin season. Actually, I'm just gonna do this. I want to set an alert here. That's gonna be a POC, and we're gonna do. Trump says he's considering taxpayer rebates of $1,000 to $2,000 using tariff money. Man, if he did that, you know that money would work its way into the system, and that would be pretty cool. Let me just check Bitcoin real quick, guys. Okay, now we're starting to lose that channel and back testing that channel and rejecting. Man, I'm very tempted to short this, but we kind of missed our opportunity on this back test here. Let's do this. Now, I would really want to wait for a break in market structure because now we're flipping our prior highs into support right now. So that's your prior high. If you come down here, you back test it and you hold it, then you can just expect to keep doing the same thing. We need a break in market structure is what we need. Here's what I would consider. Because we have lost that 786, if we pull a fib from the highs to those lows we just made, and we come up to the golden pocket, which is where the 786 is, and we reject it again, just like the initial, what I said at the beginning of the stream, you wick above the 786, you lose it, then you come up for the back test. If you reject here, you expect to go down. So now for me, that 786 at 120.8, 128 to 128.50, that could be our short position. So I'll be watching that. Let's actually set an alert there. Okay. Yeah, I'm real sorry about that, guys. When Safe Moon is going to pump. Man, okay, see, this is what I'm worried about because ETH also, what we're doing is we broke above that naked weekly POC, naked daily POC, and daily. We're kind of in the process of back testing it. And if we keep going here, you're going to keep pushing up on ETH. See, this could be even considered a bull flag. Volume is rising while the flag is forming. And then as you have your descending channel here, volume is decreasing. And that's exactly what you want to see for a bull flag. So now what's going to happen here is if we break above this channel, you're going to explode up here and you expect to see a nice rise in volume. Perfect little descending channel. Sui, guys, Sui is I looked at this yesterday, even though I didn't cover it in the video, but Sui did reject, or was it Say? I'm sorry, Say rejected from the back test of our pitchfork band after losing it. So we've been covering Say quite a bit on the channel, but you can see here we've been just in this range. And, we were rejecting the top of the band, rejected the top of the band, rejected the top of the band, rejected the top of the band. And then we said if we lose the band, then we could look for a back test of the bottom of the band. And if you reject here, you're finally going to come take all that liquidity that has been sitting at least down at these lows. So we're in the process of the back test right now. If we can reclaim, hold POC, which looks like it is, and then bust up and break, we want to break above this 0.5. If you can do that, then I expect we're going to work our way up to that weekly, and I think that's maybe not a fresh weekly anymore. Let me check. No, it's not. Yeah, you'd break up to that daily where you have that value area high. So really, the only two levels I'm interested in on SUI, daily value area high. That's probably your 886 as well. 886 is a bit higher. Don't like it. But here's the thing, guys. We held the value area low overall. We expanded up a little bit, and we're above the POC, and we're back testing it now, and we're at least attempting to hold it and make new highs. So if we hold it and make new highs, I do think we will work our way up to that value area high at 34.30, 34 cent area, 34.09 to 34.30. Okay, you know what? Nami is a bit quicker than Market Cipher B, and we do have those bear divs and money flows about to cross into the red here. So on that golden pocket retest that we are coming up to right now is going to be pretty important for me. These were your prior highs. Let's see if we're seeing any bearish CVD here. Gosh, actually, we're even seeing local bullish CVD absorption. We're seeing a lot of shorts come in. So look at this. Since this high here, since the highs, you're seeing is dropping. Shorts are coming in. We know those are fresh short positions because your open interest is increasing. And we are dropping a little bit, but the thing is, you break that golden pocket, you're going to squeeze right up there. So I'm just not seeing the signs I want to see for a short position, honestly. I still might attempt it if we do start to reject from this area, but it is just recipe for a short squeeze is inbound here. And yeah, sure enough, that golden pocket there is towards the top of the channel. So if we do something like that small rejection and then break it. Did we SFP those highs? Nope, not quite yet. Yeah, I think we are going to keep pumping a little bit, guys. And then let's check ETH. Hidden bull div just printed on ETH on that little low, that little drop. Yeah, to me this is looking like we're trying to flip this daily and this naked weekly to support and continue up to the 786, but more likely to continue up to that 886. We'll probably see small rejection, come back down, back test those prior highs, and then come up. Yeah, I mean Solana. I think Solana's about to push up to new highs. Do you have so long setup if we have a pullback? So what I yeah, I would want a bigger pullback though. So if we do at this point, it does look like we're going to come up to this 237 to 239. And if we do reject from this area, then I'll be looking at the back test of the pitchfork band around 227, maybe even 233, where we're at like right now, pretty much. But money flow looks bullish on Nami and Market Cipher B. No bear divs on the 2 hour. Let's see, 4 hour. Yeah, I mean, that's what I would look for. Check, check, check. Okay, got it. Thank you guys. I think I found it pretty quickly there. Okay. Um, thank you, Sudeep, so much. That helped. Here's the thing. On Solana now, it is looking like this is impulsive. This is the third wave of an impulse. So we have our double 1-2 down here. You know, your 1-2, 1-2. If we reject from this area, we're going to still want to be looking for 4-5s, 4-5s, and coming up to the top of this box. Because remember, here we had a weekly level and our 786 at 252. But at 256, we had our naked monthly point of control and a daily level that was up there at 256. And now look at where that 256 is lying now. We have the top of the pitchfork again, just like Ethereum kind of had that area. So the top of the pitchfork is 256 really, and it would be an SFP as well, a liquidity grab into that 256 area. Now, if the third wave is done, I mean, honestly, this third wave could keep going all the way to up there, and then we could see the 4-5, 4-5. Let's check this out. Yeah, I mean, that 2.618 is looking pretty good. This box, this purple box area is looking pretty good for stoppage. Third wave, 4, 5, 4, 5. Come up there. After seeing this, but actually we would be pulling it from here. Here's what we need to do. We need to take that same bars pattern and go from the top. Because remember, you want to see similar price action. So after rejecting from that 786, you would get a pullback in a wave 4. You'd get one more 5, then you'd get one more 4, and then one more 5 there. So coming up to around that area. Doesn't have to be exact, of course. Yeah, Sudeep, thank you so much. And that many too. I really saw, if you did so many stop signs, I really saw it in the chat. What's my opinion on moving averages? Actually, I really like moving average trading, and I haven't used it in a while, but I really like moving average trading in trends, because oftentimes in a trend, like a very trending day like this, you'll pull back to those moving averages, and then you'll find support on them and keep going. So I use the 21 EMA, the 50 EMA, and the 200, I believe it is. Let's see here. Yeah, 21, 55, and 200. And I believe the 9 I have turned off. So I mean, this trend has been so strong that you're not even, look at though, when we earlier today, we came back down to that 9 EMA and we bounced on the hourly. So if we come back down to VWAP and that 9 EMA bounce, let's check it on Bitcoin. See how nice it's been on Bitcoin. Yeah, 9 EMA bounced. Pretty much 9 EMA bounce. For me, they work in trends, in strong trends. I like EMAs as supports in strong trends. Other than that, I don't use them too much anymore. High time frame 200 EMA on the daily is really good. Okay, Bitcoin's hitting that golden pocket. About to hit it. I don't see what I don't like what I see. Money flow coming up. No bear divs on the charts, not even on the 1 minute. Hidden bull div printed on the 1 minute on the back test of the midline. Yeah, and look at we have more shorts coming in. Here, shorts, fresh shorts coming in. Now we're going to start squeezing those shorts. If we start breaking above the golden pocket, we're going to start squeezing those shorts out. And we're going to see a short squeeze. People were shorting the break of market structure, but that was a low time frame break of market structure there. So that WX and then a 3 little small complex correction in there, and now we could be about to explode up here. 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5. Okay. I'm just going to wait a few seconds here to see what happens at this golden pocket. If we have a small pullback before that golden pocket, that's not going to look good for the Bears. Yeah, ETH is getting back above. I mean, look at even on the 5 minute ETH back testing. Do I think XRP is going to $4? I do think XRP's really been lagging behind, but finally we broke that POC. That's actually a really nice break of the POC with volume up here. I don't know if I'd say $4 right away. The thing with XRP is we had our big. Actually, let me zoom out even more. On XRP, we were looking at this impulse, right? So, what was it? Oh, from down here, from the macro 382. So we bounced from the macro 382. The second we did that, I predicted new all-time highs. And then we had the impulse up here, a wave 1. That wave 2 retraced exactly to the golden pocket. Our wave 3 came up to the 1.618. And then this has been like a complex correction in a wave 4. And I believe, let's see, did we hit that? Yeah, we didn't quite hit the 0.5, but we did hit the 382. And the 382 was at that value area low. And we are bouncing. So there is a potential that we could work our way up to, 434 even. Actually, hold on. We have to adjust it to the proper lows. 390 to 428. So, yeah, I do actually think we could go to $4. I don't know if it's going to happen right away. But if this was the end, if this is our last impulse here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then we are going to see a 5-wave impulse in here up to there. A sub count of a 5-wave impulse. So let's go in here and clean this up. The next level that I talked about in the video yesterday was that 321 area as a potential pullback area, local resistance, and that's the value area high of your range. It goes back to mid-July, your 3 month range. and that SFP of those highs into the 786 in value area high. I think it's highly likely that we make it up there now. Yeah, there's nothing until really we get up there. I'm sure there's some order blocks in there. Man, I don't even like any of that really. For XRP now, what I'd be looking at is if we do come down and back test that POC, I'd look for it to flip to support. And by the time we get down there, your VWAP's probably going to be close to that as well. Can you FOMO long Sol? Man, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but longing after a pump this much is dangerous. There is a high probability that we do come up higher. Oh, and speaking of yeah, this is the same pitchfork actually. So speaking of that, top of the pitchfork, naked monthly point of control, daily level, up there. That is going to look really nice. I think we're at least going to make it up here now. Now that we're flipping the top of the pitchfork band on low time frames to support, I do think we're at least going to make it up to that 238 to 240 ish level. And then from there, I'd want to see at least some sort of a small pullback before continuing up to that 256 area. Good morning, Abir. It's good to see you, man. You long sold around 206. Nice. Okay, got out around 211. Well, that's still a win, man. You can't hate yourself for that. We're never, part of the psychology of trading is you're never ever going to catch the exact top and exact bottom most of the time. So you cannot, I mean, first of all, you almost caught the exact bottom. You caught down here, right in this general area. That's really nice. So, and then, of course, 211, okay, maybe a little early for a TP. I would have, if you would have caught that, I probably would have at least waited till you took out these highs at 214, 215. But it's still a win. Yeah, I saw that Bitcoin hit the 618. Oh, wait, the small, okay, wait. It is rejecting. Okay. Man, nice rejection there. I should have stayed on Bitcoin, dang it. See, we still have shorts coming in though. I guess that could have been that's why though they're shorting that golden pocket now. Yeah, it's interesting. This is interesting to see what's going to happen here because we lost the 786. We wicked above that 786. We'd lost it. Now we're back testing it, which happened to be the local golden pocket. That could mean at least a retrace to the VWAP. Hidden bull divs signals are printing though, even on the 1 minute. So we got the 1 minute hidden bull div down here. We made a new high locally above this high. We have another hidden bull div signal printing. Could we get up to that 786, which is also where that POC was of our 1 minute range? And remember, the area to reject is actually POC golden pocket 786, not golden pocket 786. Excuse me. That's where you look for that retracement to come to. Thing is, we only really broke 1 minute market structure bearishly. For me, that's not enough. Yeah, what I'm waiting, Ludong, very, very good point. So, guys, when we're pumping this aggressively straight up, don't try to catch a knife. Wait for a bit of a range to form. And once a bit of a range forms and you get some clarity, even if it's like the ascending channel range, where you have like this ascending channel and you start kind of grinding in the ascending channel, wait until at least that sort of range forms, and then you could look for shorts on the ascending channel. I'd be looking at like 5 to 15 minute ascending channels. But right now, it dang. Is ETH losing it? Yeah. Solana's not though. Solana's pumping. Let's see if we bounce from this midline. And what we kind of want to see is for 1 hour money flow to kind of now on Nami, like we already have that money flow coming out here. We don't really have nice local bear divs. We have bear divs between earlier here, but we had that one higher hump, so we want to wait a little bit. The big thing we could look at, guys, and I know this is for more swing positions, but we have the value area high that coming in around 120K. If we lose the value area high, that is going to be very bad for Bitcoin. We could see that this be done, and then we could see a pullback all the way to the golden pocket. So in that case, if we do lose the value area high, I would be looking for a short stop above that high, and I would be targeting that golden pocket. 6-to-1 risk to reward ratio there. I'd probably TP some at this POC at 117.6 just to lock in some profits, and I'd move my stop to break even. How do you know money flow's topping out? It starts to round off on the higher time frames, and on lower time frames, it's draining out of the asset. Like you can actually even see here, like it's kind of starting to drain out of the asset here. And on Nami, because it's quicker, you'll see bear divs on the money flow, which we are seeing on bear divs on the money flow. I mean, yeah. We were attempting to bounce from that midline, but now we're starting to look like we're losing it. Dang, we weren't paying attention when we could have been. How do we know? Okay, so all right, guys. This is a tough one because I probably would have attempted a short if I saw that rejection right away there. Just because, like we talked about at the very beginning of the stream, if you pierce above the 786, you lose it, and then you back test it and you reject, you could be dropping lower. Ludong, I set alerts a lot of the time. There will be times where I'll spend a few hours looking at the charts, but I don't like to sit and or even walk on a walking treadmill for long periods of time and watch the charts. That's how you can get into this FOMO mindset where you overtrade or you make dumb decisions. You have to have very, very good discipline to sit at the charts all day, watch the charts, and have good discipline. So it's best to wait for the market to come to you. You mark out your levels and you wait. And you will miss trades that way, especially if you're a scalper, you'll miss trades that way. But for me, I used to sit at the charts a whole lot more, and I would find myself making dumb decisions because you always feel like you need to be in a trade. You always feel like, okay, hey, wait, this pump is pumping without me. You'll enter late. Your risk management's not good. It's different for everyone. So you're going to have to see for yourself whether sitting at the charts is going to all day long is going to be a good thing for you. Also, I think that family is very important, and you should always take into account your family life and other things. But yeah, I guess I like to set alerts, and then watch for it to come to me. Yeah, we had some longs stepping in. You can see some longs were stepping in here, and they were fresh longs for the most part. And now we're starting to see those kind of get squeezed out. Open interest is dropping a little bit or kind of going sideways. Because right up here, we had some longs. I have no idea why you would long the exact top of a pump. Like, that's just crazy to me. After a big win, I often overtrade and become greedy. Yes, exactly, man. Well, that's another thing. Even if you just had a big win, you should be using risk management every time. You got to get used to using these tools right here, long and the short tool, and calculate your risk. Calculate your position size. So if you were going to short this golden pocket here, let's say you had a $10,000 account, and so you're risking 1% on the trade. That's $100 you're risking on the trade. So then you're going to calculate your position size on this. Let me bring the calculator up. So you're going to be risking $100, and then you're going to divide it by 0.0023. You can risk 43,000. I think I did that wrong. Hold on. 100 divided by 0.0. Yeah, 23. $4,300 on that account. No, it was right, 43,000, because you can 4x your account. This is about 0.25%. So I did it right the first time. You could 4x your account if you had a $10,000 account. 100 divided by 0.0023, and your position size is going to be 4,300, pretty much $43,500, or right under that, right? And if you get stopped out on that, you're only going to lose 1%. You're only going to lose that $100. Now, your TP your risk reward ratio, in my opinion, should be like a 2.5 or greater. So if we're targeting that VWAP, that's a 4.25. So just for a drop from the golden pocket to the VWAP, you're risking pretty much $1 to make $4. Every $1 to make $4.25. You should always be calculating, and that's why it's important to plan your trades. But yeah, we are losing that midline now and dropping. Man, that's a bummer. Is ETH ETH is hold on. See, the altcoins are trying to hold on against Bitcoin. And to me, this looks like a little. And remember, symmetrical triangles are continuation consolidation. So you dumped into it, consolidation, consolidation, consolidation. You have a higher probability to dump out of it. So that means to me that altcoins might run against Bitcoin right now. If Bitcoin sees a little bit of a pullback, but altcoins continue. Yeah, I mean, altcoins are looking stronger. I have to say that. 4-hour RSI is a goner. Um, I mean, we are really oversold right now, but the money flow, here's the thing, just because the RSI is oversold doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get a giant pullback. That could just be small pullback. And let me check Bitcoin first of all. That could be a small pullback and then continuation. But yeah, I mean, you know, this pump was very aggressive over the last 2 days. A very, very aggressive pump. I think I said like 12,000 bucks. No, that was from the bottom. $8,500 almost. $8,400 pump. Okay, guys. I do got to get going. we we missed that. That's so annoying. Super super annoying. Be aware if you did short that golden pocket, you could bounce here at the bottom of the channel. If you do bounce, I wouldn't necessarily be taking profit because you could bounce, back test the midline, and then drop to that VWAP. That does look like it's a possibility. The bear divs, well, yeah, still very slight bear divs there. Bear divs here, or that's not bear divs because that's a lower high. 7% on BTC is definitely a lot. That's a giant move. But the thing was, I talked about this at the very beginning of the stream because we hadn't come up to that 786 yet. We talked about how if you were going to come up to that 786, wick past it, and then lose it and backtest it, you could do that. And so that was kind of what we were looking at. And that it sucks that that happened during the stream and we didn't catch it because we were looking at a different coin. Be aware that that value area high is there right before the VWAP as well, or I guess it's about where the VWAP is. So that's definitely a TP area for me would be VWAP, or at least if you start to bounce from there, you could pull some out because just like with the macro value area high earlier this week, rejected golden pocket, back tested macro value area high, we continued up. So now we're breaking above another value area high. If we reject 786, you could come down, back test that, and then continue. Now that we have multiple drives of bear divs on the 2-hour and money flow looks to be topping a little bit here, not on Nami. Nami looks pretty good. We could also look for a break in market structure. So what you want to see here, actually, we kind of already broken 5-minute market structure by breaking that low. We just broke that low. If you really want to be safe, you could watch for breaking that low. So you break market structure bearishly. After you break your market structure bearishly, you're going to look for a lower high to come in at the golden pocket, short the golden pocket, and then you expect a lower low. That's a bearish break. That's the market structure strategy break. So you could be looking for that now. But we kind of did that on like the 1 minute time frame. By breaking this low here, we came up to golden pocket, which was also the back test of that 786. And that's exactly where you got your rejection. And then you made new lows already. Oh, what's up, Mark Dutch? I literally was just about to leave. I've been on for 2.5 hours. So thank you so much for stopping in. You skipped my wanking Wednesdays. Oh my God. Hey man, that's important, okay? No worries. I washed my hands. Oh my gosh, dude, that's awesome. But anyways, guys, I do got to get going. It's actually a family member's birthday today. I know we have a lot of birthdays in September and October. So thank you guys for joining. Watch for a bounce from the VWAP. We could bounce from VWAP and continue up to that 886, but this was a big level we were watching. We wicked past the 786, lost it, back tested it, and it was also our local golden pocket, so we could get that bigger drop now. And remember, if this is the end of that impulse, you could drop all the way to the golden pocket, where if we're going to drop down here, I will be looking for swing long positions. Impulse done. Fall back inside. 3-wave corrective move down to 113K. Value area low of the range. Fib channel 618 line, golden pocket. Here for me at 113K, we might be taking it from 113K all the way up to 135K. If this is going to be super bullish. That means my family's horny around. Probably, dude. Actually, you're right, dude. Mark Dutch, you are so right. Yeah. I'll stream tomorrow, guys, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please do hit the like button if you got anything out of this. Even if you disagree with some of the TA, if you did get some sort of insight, I'm okay with people disagreeing with the TA. Like, that's actually good to have people that have different opinions. So, thank you all so much. I will see you.